Hello everyone, I'm Brian from Game Brigade, and today we're going to be talking about the games that I'm most excited for that are coming to crowdfunding, so either Kickstarter or GameFound. So let's check out these top 5 games. So the first game I want to talk about is coming from Gameland Games, Tiny Epic Vikings. Tiny Epic Games have done a very good job within the last few iterations supporting great gameplay games in a very small condensed box. Tiny Epic Vikings is going to be bringing a area majority, area influence type game with card drafting and some sort of King of the Hill like system. I thought it was interesting when you come on down here to the reviews, they had something called a Tiny Epic Blood Rage. And it does sound that way when you look at some of the mechanics that were in the game. You have the hand management, the drafting system, the area majority. So I'm very curious what the full system will look like. But I'm sure Gameland Games is going to supply us a great product. So this is my number 5 game that I'm excited for coming to crowdfunding in May. The next one we're going to look at is The Breach from Ludus Magnus Studios. And I just want to show you they have here, if you have 2,500 Kickstarter followers, which they are almost there, not quite there, just almost there, they will unlock Blinks, which is non-infringement copyright IP from League of Legends, whatever. But The Breach from Ludus Magnus Studios is a game where you're going to be basically diving into the Netrunner world. You're going to be playing as a runner or a hacker of some sort who's going to be traveling the net, trying to get through different types of ice security systems, releasing viruses. And they say it's about a 25 per minute per player experience. I'm excited to see what they're going to provide here in terms of the actual gameplay mechanics, because the actual board and everything looks good, and it's very much in competition with Tamashi that just released from Awakened Realms, which was a game that I backed a month ago or 2 months ago. I feel like it's a month ago, but it could have been 2 months ago. But very similar world in terms of games that they're trying to present. So is The Breach going to provide a better option? Is it going to be a more complex system? We'll have to find out once it launches on Kickstarter. The next one that I am actually probably the most hyped for, there's a few games on here I'm pretty hyped for, but Youthia, Torment of Resurrection, and Fierce Powers. This is effectively a reprint of the first campaign that launched on Kickstarter, I feel like maybe 2 years ago. It has now fulfilled, and so now they are going to be providing an expansion. But with this, you're going to be able to pick up the original game, the reprint, as well as all the new content. This is going to be a massive game. Youthia is basically an RPG light game where you're going to be traveling around doing side quests and main quests and leveling up your character. Just a standard game that we do, all these campaign games that are so common now. I skipped on this one originally, but it was one that I was very much interested in. I skipped on it for Arena the Contest. Arena is going to be delivering soon, so Youthia could be about 2 years out, I'm suspecting. So maybe this is what I could back now, and then in a few years I can have another game that I can play. I'm definitely very interested in seeing what it looks like with all the different types of components and different types of stretch goals that we're going to be unlocking. And this one is going to be on GameFound. And if you follow now, you will be receiving this free Griffin Mini with every core game purchase. So make sure you follow. It's free. You just got to click the button and you're good to go. The next game we're going to be talking about is Batman Gotham City Chronicles Season 3 from Monolith. Batman Gotham City Chronicles is one of those games that's like, it's got such an epic IP behind it, and they have a good foundation, but the original Batman had a lot of road bumps. I never really looked into Season 2 after Season 1 was so rough in terms of reviewers. But I hear now that they have improved it a lot. So I'm curious what is going to be new with Batman. Basically, you're going to be playing the Cape Crusader, going around in a kind of a dungeon crawling like manner, where one player will be playing the villains, the other players will be playing the heroes, and you're just going to do whatever the scenario selects. There's going to be scenario-based games, kind of a beer and pretzel-like experience. The original game was kind of bogged down with rules inundated with too many rules. I'm curious what season 3 is offering. Is it just the same game with just more content, which some people might be excited for? I don't know. So Batman Gotham City Chronicles is becoming a Kickstarter. I'm excited to see what they're going to offer, but I'm not totally convinced it's going to be for me yet. And the final game, RuneScape Kingdoms, Shadow of Elgavar. RuneScape is a game on PC that is incredibly old. I don't know if I'll say incredibly old. It looks incredibly old. I would say it's about 20 years old, maybe about 20 years old, right? I think it's old. I think it's about 20 years old. And it's the game that looks like blocks, not kind of like, who knows? I don't know how to describe it. But it says, go on quests, master skills, and meet memorable RuneScape NPCs for the first time on tabletop. When we come on over here, they talk about how there's going to be no classes, but you can be able to level up whatever skills you want to level up, giving players a lot of different agency. That was something that was already part of RuneScape. So I kind of like that they are taking some of the gameplay elements of the game, bringing it here into the tabletop world. Again, this is going to be one that is going to be popular because the IP is so big. This is brought to us by Stoneforge Games, who basically locks down pretty much all of the video game IPs right now. So I'm excited to see how they're going to do it. Their Bard Song that Stoneforge Games just released is doing extremely well. So with taking their recent history of completion of games, I suspect RuneScape will do well. Again, it's going to be really based on the overall mechanics, and they're not really showing us much here on Board Game Geek in terms of what we're going to look at. So these are the top 5 games that I am most interested in right now that are coming in the month of May. Are there any games that I might have missed? Is there anything that you might be interested in that I didn't touch on? I'd love to hear what your thoughts are. We obviously have 5 games. There's a few more that I was thought about putting on here. Raw reprint is going to be coming soon. So I'd like to know in the comment section what you guys thought, and I'll follow up with you guys down there. So that's Brian from Game Brigade. I will talk to you all very soon. Bye-bye.